You know, this situation is
I'm
tough.
trying to call Myron. Listen, jeez.
Akaash Singh,
Mr. Gaines.
podcast.
What up, bro? What up? Let me open up this shit real quick.
I want to listen up to this interview because I want to give you guys my opinion on this because it's hard out there. Dating is the hardest shit on earth.
Myron, listen, I know you probably haven't been a fan of the Flagrant 2 podcast in a while. I do like these guys. These guys are I think that they are fun comedic guys. And man, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of wondering what was gonna happen, and bro, it appears that my boy Akaash is just not, he's
Also, let me say this about Akaash. The man waited to marriage to make love to women. So he was like 40, I think it is. I can double check that, but he waited a long period of time being this blue beta male, simp, idiot, just saying love is real. I think men are the only ones who believe in love. For women, it's just a money grab. So I kind of feel sorry for him for doing that, for waiting this long. And his girl is beautiful. And just based on that, she cashed in on it and got everything from men. And now is pretending to like the simp.
He's just not coming back, which I think that's a mistake. I think that's a mistake.
Well, I think I'll tell you what I think happened, bro. I think here I'm turning my camera on right now. My bad.
And it's sad that the guy waited till 40 to realize you got to read the room. You got to be able to read the room and just say fuck it. And that's the hard part.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, we guys.
Nah, I'll tell you what I think happened, bro. I think Andrew gave him the boot, bro. If I'm keeping thousands with you.
Nah, Andrew strikes me as a loyal guy. He strikes me as a loyal guy. You're a loyal guy too.
He got you fooled, bro. He's not loyal at all, bro.
He's not loyal.
That's the biggest thing in the industry, bro.
No, what I think happened
Andrew's
is
not
that
loyal.
This saga really, and I hope no creator gets to this point where for you to be prosperous and to appease the people who have supported your career and made you successful means you have to go against what you have done within. You got to go against his household. I think people wanted him to go against his wife, and I think he's choosing his wife.
I think when a man chooses his wife, those men appear to be the kind that they don't see themselves without that love. So they fool themselves into thinking that this is it. This is what you need to fight for with everything in you, keeping this shit together no matter what. So it's like an end game for him. I got an uncle called Mario Sanchez, who is the same thing, who puts up with everything from his wife, just so he won't be alone or be single. That is really sad.
Which was a foolish move because she literally ruined his career, in my opinion.
Well, we can't say that. He just did Radio City Music Hall, right? I do think he should. The podcast is an amazing engine. If I'm him, I'm not giving that up. But also, I don't think what nationality is it or ethnicity? Do you know?
He's Indian.
Okay.
I used to think that it was all about money, money, power, respect. I always used to think as a man that it was all about getting money, and that would attract a lot of women, and the women will wake up and realize, I'm with the right guy. I'm with a millionaire, a multi-millionaire. I'm set. And then she will behave accordingly so she doesn't lose her man. But I was wrong about that. Akaash is wrong about that. And I think the fact that he's spending so much money should make him realize the fact that he's wrong. All right? This girl don't care. They'll take all your money, and they'll, at the end, when they see that you have no more left, they walk away. And you're left with nothing. Now you lost all your money and you lost the woman. Unless she wants to keep a slave around to just order him to do shit for her.
I think family and marriage holds a significant distinction where he's not going to be, for him to come back to the podcast is also allowing his co-host for things to get back to normal, to make his wife the butt of the jokes. Like she's now the new, I don't know, Aisha Curry or, you know, whatever woman that is kind of like super entitled or kind of getting no. And I don't think he would allow that. So I think he made a decision. Now, you know what? Listen, if I'm going to be a distraction, because I'm not going to take the jokes, I'm getting out of here.
Look, man, I get it that they're your friends and everything else like that. But look, Andrew Schultz is the biggest snake in show business. He will say and do whatever he needs to do to move himself ahead.
Okay.
All right. I caught on to this right away. And let me tell you a story, right? Let me tell you a story.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and did a show, right? And he tried to, you know, shame us for the whole, oh, you guys said these things about black people, blah, 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 all this other stuff, right? When him and Akaash have all made jokes about black people, right? Trying to like virtue signal, whatever. And there's some liberals out of New York. After we did the show, after we did the show, he said, oh, do you want us to put it out, bro? You guys look kind of bad, blah, blah. I was like, no, we didn't look bad, bro. We don't mind. Like, put it out. They cut out a part where, who's the dumb black dude that works with them?
I
forget his name.
Nigga number 3.
Whatever, he's irrelevant. But the dude with the dreads or whatever, the dude that paints his face.
His name's Alex.
Nigga number 3.
Okay. He said some bullshit about like, oh, you teach guys to manipulate women. And then I like completely like obliterate him. I said, no, we teach guys how to not get manipulated by women so they understand female nature, whatever, right? Because you try to say like game is like manipulating women or whatever. Andrew cut that entire part out of the fucking podcast, by the way. Cut that whole part out because I made him look like an idiot, right? Because he was there trying to like press me about the whole racist thing. Meanwhile, that dude dates, like, I think he's married to like a white chick, by the way. But that's a whole other thing. Big hypocrite. After the interview dropped, I said, yo, before we left, I said, Andrew, can we put clips on our channel? He said, yeah, no problem. I was like, cool. So
And you know what? Andrew is a killer because he understands how tough it is to make it in the entertainment industry. And so he cuts everybody's throat, just like his throat got cut. So he come from that background, in my opinion.
put him in touch with like my clip guy, or made a chat. We posted one of the clips, bro. He calls my fucking clip guy and he sends like a fucking scathing ass message, pissed as fuck. Like I saw a whole other side of him, mad as hell. What are you guys doing posting this clip? Blah blah blah. All this other stuff you guys can't do. I was like, yo, we got permission from you.
Who?
Andrew Schultz.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Yo, niggas don't know. Like, this dude's a fucking fraud. He's the biggest snake ever. He puts out one side. And let me tell you how I know this. Let me tell you how I know this. I dealt with people like him when I was on a job. Okay? I knew a lot of agents, a lot of criminals that operated the way he did, where they put one face to you, right? Or one face out there publicly, and then they put another face when the rubber meets the road, right? They will say and do what they need to do to move ahead. So I know a lot of successful agents that were that way that I worked with. And then I also knew a lot of criminals that were that way when I'd interview them, where they would do what they need to do, right? They'll look like the biggest boss ever, but they'd be snitching all the time. So I noticed that immediately when I was like dealing with him. I was like, okay, this guy will say and do whatever he needs to do to get ahead in life, and that's fine. Like a lot of successful people are like that. But don't fucking sit here and pretend to be, you know, the moral authority or to be authentic or to be a good guy or whatever. Like he's a very slimy individual.
Let
and
me
the
ask
fact
you this
that you
question.
didn't know that, look at how shocked you are by what I told you about that story. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
And you know what? Andrew tried to even go against Hassan or Akash's wife, because she was bugging out. She went to the studio and started giving him attitude. So even Andrew was like, why is she talking? Why is she telling us what to do? You know when it is when you go to work and somebody who doesn't even belong there telling you what to do? You're like, why is she over here? Why are we putting up with this shit? And you know why? Because Akaash puts up with it. So therefore, she figures it's him and everybody with him that gets shitted on.
Say.
Okay, so this is what I do think I know. And by the way, I do love I rock heavily with Akaash and also Schultz. They've been nice to me. Here's the thing, though.
Hey man, you can cheat, man.
No, hold on. What I do think about like Andrew is that I think Andrew's a really good guy to the people he already likes.
You're being political because that's part of the business. So you can stay in good terms with him.
So like from when I met him, I could tell he already fucked with me. Like I remember doing a Brilliant Idiots episode.
Because you're famous, bro.
Well, I think he kind of watched certain stuff I said, and he was kind of cool with like my opinion. So like when I did the show,
he can gain from you. That's why he can gain from you.
I always notice. I'm like he's always. Yo, I did a show with him and Charlamagne, and I felt like him and me were like more connected than even me and Charlamagne, and I knew Charlamagne more. I think he just never liked you guys, like which is interesting because that's part of podcasting too. You might bring on somebody you disagree with, but it's easy to throw somebody to the wolves when you don't like them, right? So I think at a point they were like, you know what, we're gonna kind of expose these guys a little bit, and I think that's where maybe the energy in that podcast was a bit. It felt like you took it personal because I'll ask this off top. Well, I'm asking like 5 questions, right? Do you actually feel responsible, or do you feel some remorse? I feel like everything went down. You made one clip, and it's never been the same. Do you have any remorse? Do you feel responsible? I get it. They put out an episode. Maybe they talked a little bit of shit, but do you think it was worth, everything you're seeing now?
Honestly, bro, here's the thing. The reason why I went so hard at Akaash and Andrew Schultz to this day, right, and I'm going to keep going at them because they're bitch-ass niggas. The reason why is because they brought us on there to try to virtue signal about like us saying we don't date black women and making jokes, right? We were doing exactly what they do. We said we don't, we're not night riders, blah, blah. It was all jokes. And they brought us in trying to shame us. And I'm like, wait, aren't you guys comedians? Isn't your podcast flagrant? So it was like a gross, level of hypocrisy. And then they brought this other stupid nigga on with the glasses, with the fingernails. Remember, this was before he was funny. He was a no-name back then, right? He was a no-name back then. And he's over here saying this bullshit. And it's like, okay, so y'all brought us on girls about this shit. And it's funny because he got hit with a lot of the racist bullshit too. And here's the thing. He has to do that because he does a show with bitch-ass Charlamagne, who's a progressive. Right? I don't care. I admit this shit. I'm openly racist. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I make fun of blacks. I make fun of Indians. Hoodie in stores, by the way, eat the Jeet. Which, by the way, we yeeted that Akaash nigga Jeet. Get out of here. Right? So I'm racist towards everybody. Like, I make my jokes. And these guys, like, oh, bro, what the hell's going on? How is it that I am more based than the comedians? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I thought I think they thought it was a easy. Hey, I'll let's go back in time.
Sure. Go ahead.
I remember when I had you guys on. I've always done you guys show, and you guys have done my podcast whenever. And remember we did Brittany Renner around, but you guys were so new to the conversation of maybe podcasts outside of the manosphere realm. And I remember, I think Fresh was like, "Hey, Actor, could you help us get on to some of these platforms?" I think I could say this now. I remember Vlad was married.
He said, "Hell no."
Yeah, Vlad was married to a black woman. His wife said no.
Oh.
His wife said, "Fuck no." Happy wife, happy life. You didn't know this? So
no, here's the thing with Vlad. I knew after the Kevin Samuels interview.
Vlad only fucks black girls. Straight up. Only he is devout.
Okay.
So
Jewish too. So that's like another thing that he's gonna have an issue with me. Because
no. He'll rock with the Jewish stuff, but
I'll say this much. There's no such thing as only, right? It's about connecting with a human being that you shoot your shot towards, and he shoot his shot towards these girls. Some of them go for it, some of them don't. And even some women shoot their shots. So it just happened that he got no problem shooting his shots towards black women. And that's why he only dates black women. But if it presented himself a human being, another relationship that is going to work with him, I'm pretty sure he'll move forward with it.
But his wife,
bro.
When I pitched him, I'm telling you what he told me. He said, "Yo, listen." Okay. He says, my wife wouldn't be into it. And that's one of those things where for him, that's like a hard line which he would draw. And I remember because I was trying to help Fresh kind of throw you guys alley-oops to get on the platforms, and a lot of people were kind of just say no. And I remember Fresh at one point said, "Yo, you should try to help us get on Flagrant." And I had a relationship with them, and I don't even think I got a chance. So I think Fresh got that by himself. But I was
they hit us up. They hit up fresh because after the whole backlash with the we don't dabble in the dark, they hit us up to do something.
Oh.
I think they hit fresh.
But I was shocked, and I was just like, the mere fact that this wasn't like a facilitated thing. This is probably the slam dunk. It's not a hit piece, but it's like, hey, our fan base, we're gonna affirm everything they think of us, make these guys look ridiculous, and for those guys, maybe they feel they could like convert some of our fans. It's one of those like it's like a toxic trade. And once I see that,
a lot of people think like we had both at the time. I remember vividly, we're both right around 400, 500K subscribers. Both of us were growing at the same rate back then.
So I looked at that. I'm like, all right, let's see how this goes. And it turned into like so much like hate though. Why did you?
I mean, we went in there good faith, bro. We went in there good faith, trying to have a conversation with them, and then they come in with all the racist stuff, and then this guy Akaash was just like super rude the whole time, like very dismissive, very like.
He was the worst out of all of them, and he looked horrible because then when you get to know his wife, you're like, oh my God, that guy is way off. There's no listening to the stupid guy. He's just crashing out for his wife.
Was he rude or was he telling jokes?
He was rude.
No, bro, he didn't tell any jokes at all. Watch the interview back.
He was rude.
Bro, you can pull it up right now. We can react to it real time, and you'll see. Like he was being super rude, super dismissive, being very condescending, right? And we're just trying to have a good faith conversation, bro. We were there super respectful. And
I hate those type of simps that is crashing out for their wife, just like don't care about their career, throwing it all out the window.
That watch the interview back now will tell you, like, yo, why are these guys being assholes? Like, and then here's the thing with Andrew, right? Because I knew what it was, because I did it before when I was on a job. He was trying to play the good cop. Akaash was purposely being an asshole, and the other dude, Alex, and then the other dude, Alex, in the back was chiming in with his stupid comments as well, right? So they were trying to get a rise out of us or get us to apologize, and we didn't. And then what ended up happening was we talked about how like modern dating has changed. We talked about how guys need to move differently with women, et cetera, et cetera. And it's funny because there's a clip in there, and I posted it. Andrew Schultz literally says in there, yo, well, you know, if we get proven wrong 10 years from now, whatever, we'll have y'all back. We'll apologize, blah, blah. And I played that shit after this shit happened because everything we said was true. It was true. Because both of them had just gotten married at the time. Both of them had, like, Akaash said, like, apparently that was his first wife. He talked about that shit. And he said it was, and Akaash was saying, we're lames for not dating our race. That's what he tried to say. And then Andrew was like, yeah, I just got married, blah, blah.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Oh,
so in hindsight with everything, and I know, again, I remember you posted some clips. I don't know if you put the sound effects, but that shit was gold. Perhaps his girl was doing a little bit of comedy. Did people overblow that situation? Because here's the thing too, you know, I often kind of relate what they might have going on to what's that ugly nigga, the ugly football player with the big, he looks like a fucking Hunter. He looks like Alien versus Predator. Everybody know who I'm talking about. Chat. All right, everybody tell me his name.
That's gonna probably, I'm looking at your chat right now too.
Chat.
Is it Hunter?
Who's that ugly nigga with the big nose? Travis Hunter. You get what I'm
saying? Travis Hunter.
Yeah. Everybody was telling him, yo, you shouldn't be, but I could tell like people were unhappy for him. He was happy as shit. Whatever. So I guess like, you know, and by the way, if you guys don't know Myron, like, you know, obviously we bring him on a lot of times. I guess in most recent times for like, you know, criminal breakdowns, because he is a former law enforcement agent, worked with the feds. But what he does also is he does male self-improvement. He talks about relationship. He's pretty much like, you know, one of the top guys at doing it. Let me ask you this question. So don't you believe for the Travis Hunters and the Akaash Singhs of the world, where the world sees a problem with their relationship, but they seem happy as fuck? That's what. So I've always said when it's different when the guy is like moping and you could tell like he feels stuck, and you're trying to like give him that pat on the back, like, yo, bro, you're better than this. You could leave. Yo, you're a decently attractive guy. You make some good money. You'll get another girl. That's one thing. However, when you got like a dude who maybe he's getting abused, but he's loving this shit. Like, he's like, yes, like he's salivating. How do you deal with that? Because I think that's Travis Hunter. I've told people leave him alone.
Yeah, because they don't know what they're getting into. So like the thing is like, well, a lot of guys, their mistake is like they're not aware of female nature and they're not properly prepared to deal with what's gonna come. And this is the problem.
What? I don't hear anything.
No, his girl was his girl.
No, his girl was the whore. No, hold on.
Oh, bro, she was a huge 304, bro.
No.
Huge 304.
Okay,
bro,
okay. Now we can debate, Mark. We'll debate a little bit. She's not a whore, but I do think that how he described her sexually and her demeanor was much more.
You're being too nice. She was a 304. It was the worst case scenario. Now it's 1 o'clock, and we're gonna head over to BJ's to go buy a chair. With that said, I'll be right back. And yeah, it is sad to be unable to walk away from a girl. I don't think anybody wants to be by themselves or be alone. And so they go above and beyond the call of duty to keep that other relationship. I've been divorced twice, and I'm completely fine with it. Now on my third relationship, and she ain't going nowhere. This time, she's sticking around. With that said, peace.